Meraki TV is proudly brought to you by George Fokas of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely. Good evening all and welcome to Meraki TV, brought to you by George Fokas of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely. Tonight we speak to Irene and Theo, Greek Aussie musicians from Sydney who have just released some new music. Merae makes lip balm in the kids corner. Helen, oh my god Helen, makes a custard pull apart to die for, and we check out the life and times of Narcissus. First up though, I was very honoured to be able to sit and chat to the man himself, George Fokas. We talked money, abundance, freedom and the Greek community. George, welcome to Meraki TV again.
Anna, thank you for having me, and hello to all the viewers.
For our viewers who don't know you and what Focus Beyond does, can you tell us a little bit?
Coming up with a Greek background and my parents coming from Greece, a typical story. My parents worked for their money, and I decided growing up and seeing that my father was constantly working for his money and not being at home and not knowing my father, I thought I've got to find different ways to change that and to start having money work for me as opposed to me working for money. So you could say I was the black sheep of the family, and I looked at other ways to make money instead of me having to go to a JOB, a traditional JOB. So I started investing on the stock markets, started investing in property, and I realised the stock market was my vehicle to give me cash flow, which has allowed me to build my portfolio of multiple streams of income. And that's what we want to have. We don't want to be relying on one source of income being a job or a negatively geared investment property. We want to build multiple streams of income. And that's what I've been doing over the last 17 years, and that's what I teach, and I've been teaching over the last 12 years on having your money work for you as opposed to you working for your money.
Now the system that you teach is a little bit unique though, because a lot of people, we say stock market and they see gambling.
Correct.
Your system is very different though.
Correct. Now I'll ask the question, do you believe when banks invest our money on the markets and fund managers invest our money on the markets, do they take on risk or do they transfer risk to somebody else?
Banks always transfer risk.
And that's basically what I've been doing for the last 17 years. I teach my members around the world how to transfer risk to somebody else and earn a return on whatever investment they make from day one up front, irrespective of whether the markets are going to go up or down for the next month.
To be able to do that and transfer risk, don't you have to be one of the big boys?
The strategy that is applied by the big boys. You've got banks, brokers, fund managers, large corporations and institutional investors who actually implement this strategy, but they don't teach it to the average mum and dad investor like you and me. And I was taught by the late Renee Rifkin, and I now have gone out and I teach this strategy since 2005.
So I don't need a massive capital behind me in order to implement this strategy?
No, you don't. We say to start, you need a minimum of $2,000 to $5,000.
Yeah, that's doable.
It's doable, but we're not going to see a big return on that. We're actually going to see a very, very, very small return. But it's giving people the confidence to see something is working. I see a return on my investment and it's from day one. And then I can repeat the process, and that gives us the confidence and the knowledge to add more into our accounts to grow it. And that's what it's about. Like anything, when we go to our jobs, we don't get paid from day one. We actually have to work a week, a fortnight or a month to get paid. And if we put money into a bank and it's locked in a term deposit for 12 months, we see our return at the end. Whereas with what I teach, we see our return from day one, no matter what the market does.
I have read some of your customer testimonials. Do you have any that you can share with us?
I do.
I love their words.
I do. Recently I received some text messages, so please allow me to go through them if that's okay.
We'd love it if you would share them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So here is one of my testimonials I actually received last night. I was in Perth and I did the red eye coming in here, so excuse my my look. But I received a text message from one of my members who said, and it was at my boot camp, I was running a boot camp yesterday in Perth. He says, firstly, thank you for the day for today, mate. He says, always learn something new in these workshops. Secondly, I had no effing idea how to check how much money I had made since live trading probably a year ago. But more seriously, since January this year, and today has showed us how to analyse our positions and our results and to work out what our return is. He says, mate, I have made $17,000 since I joined you, and that's in less than 2 years. He says, I wanted you to leave Perth with this reward. Your system definitely works, mate. He says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Looking forward to applying for the advanced course once it's available. He says, see you soon, matey. Have a safe flight and enjoy your break in Europe. Currently celebrating this winning with my wife. I'm out with her for a meal.
Wow.
So,
Does that must feel really good. You're changing lives.
It does. I've got members around the world that I've teach, and I've been teaching since 2005. And to see an individual who would never consider the stock market, and for us to nurture them and hold their hand and guide them every step of the way to understand how it works on a strategy that's applicable and available to them, valid for the rest of their lives, we change lives, and that's what it's about. That's the passion we have, and that's the reward we get back for the passion that we have.
And these are people who don't have to go to uni for 4 years and study the market or anything. This is just, it's a nuts and bolts strategy where you just find the system and you follow it, right?
It is. We provide a proven practical principle for students to basically follow. We give them all the tools and all the resources they need, and basically we watch over them every step of the way to make sure they understand the process. We guide them, we mentor them, we coach them, and we make sure they're up and running with live accounts, they're live trading, they're seeing returns in their accounts, because we want them to build multiple streams of income. But in addition, to use the income from the stock market, which is our cash flow, to then look at going into property and using cash flow from the stock market to invest in property without having to use equity off property.
Wow.
And that's the benefit of it.
Wow. Do you have another testimonial to share? Because I love hearing those words.
I do. So Anna, here is one of my members, Greg and Gail, and they're in their late 50s. And they never consider the stock market. They've just been working all their lives, and the traditional from their parents and grandparents, work hard for your money. So he sent me a message and he says, and this is May the 27th, so recently, he says, hey George, I just read your email on the poor lost soul. You have tried so hard to help. So I have people I try to help who think they can't generate income from the stock market. He says, some people's brains are just not wired up correctly, and once they make a decision, no amount of common sense will change it back. He says, the genuine care you show personally in regards to, coaching my members, he says, and your positive attitude is why I am inspired to be positive every day. He says, if you follow the system and talk to the coaches and listen to them and don't get emotional about your positions, you can't fail. I've been doing this for 8 months and have made 17% on my live trades. He says, for those people who allow you to nurture and inspire them, will flourish. And he says, best wishes, Greg and Gail.
Oh, so sweet.
So
and they're in their 50s and doing this. They're not 21 thinking we've got to learn something new. You're teaching old dogs new tricks.
Correct. And this is the best thing about what we teach. And this is why I wanted to sponsor Meraki TV, because it's about, we've got other communities out there and other cultures and nationalities all working together to help each other grow. And, we know the traditional Greeks, well, he's 11, but, it's about helping each other grow. There is enough abundance in society and in this world for all of us to grow and to share and not have to worry about why has he got more than me. And this is why I want to change that philosophy with the old mentality of our parents. Let's get out there and let's inspire, let's all work together as a great community, and let's build each other up, let's work together and let's help each other.
Well, from Meraki TV, you've really helped do that, because Meraki TV does that, and you help the Greek community come together. And I love having Meraki TV sponsored by Focus Beyond, because that's what Focus Beyond is about. It's about being better and brighter and living better, but still staying true to who you are and what you love. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For doing what you do for the Greek community, but also for people in general. It's very special, George.
You're welcome. Thank you. And this is what it's about. Focus Beyond for me is a family business. I'm not a big corporation or organisation. It's a family business that I've been running now for 17 years, and it's teaching for 12 years. And we want to get out there and inspire people. We want to help people. It's not about the masses. It's about finding people who are inspired, who really have dreams, visions, and a passion in life to change and to do things differently, and for us to nurture them through that process. And that's what Focus Beyond is about, and that's why what you do in the community, and we acknowledge and love what you do in the Greek Australian community and abroad as well, because this is global what you do, and that's why I thought Focus Beyond will be a great connection. So thank you for having us. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, George, and thank you for your time today.
You're very welcome, Anna. Thank you, and thank you to everybody who's watching this.
It's time for an income breakthrough to free yourself from working for money, have your money work for you. George Fokas of Focus Beyond will show you step by step how to generate income from the share market irrespective of if it goes up or down. Access resources that do the hard work for you and devote no more than 60 minutes a month so you can enjoy financial freedom and time with family. To change your life forever, go to focusbeyond.com now.
Έχω ένα παπαγάλο, είναι το στόμα του μεγάλο. Του αρέσει να μιλάει, ποτέ δεν σταματάει να μιλάει. Ό,τι λέω λέει, ό,τι λέω λέει.
Hi, I'm Merae and welcome to Meraki TV Kids Corner. Today we're making lip balm with my lip balm factory. First we're going to lay everything out on our little bench here. We grab our soy ester and a small spoon and we put a spoonful into the small beaker. Now we close the lid from the soy ester and put it back in the tray. Now we're going to put 12 drops of the baby oil and 12 pieces of wax drops. Now you mix this with your spoon. Just a little hint, you should always keep everything in place. Now you grab your big beaker and put 35 ml of water in. Grab a big person to help you and ask them to put it in the microwave for 45 seconds. Grab the small beaker and put it inside the big beaker and mix it. Now you add 2 drops of red cherry candy and 5 drops of red food colouring. Now you get an adult to help you take it out so you can mix it. Now you put some of the lip shimmer for the glitter. Now you mix it all up. Now you can add some sun stopper if you want it to be protected from the sun. Now you pour it into one of your slots of the compact. Now you put it in the fridge for 5 minutes. Now, after 5 minutes, you're ready to wear your lip gloss. Thanks for watching Meraki TV Kids Corner.
Έχω ένα παπαγάλο, είναι το στόμα του μεγάλο. Του αρέσει να μιλάει, ποτέ δεν σταματάει να μιλάει. Ό,τι λέω λέει, ό,τι λέω λέει.
Ever been called a narcissus? Use the insult yourself. Of course, the term comes from an ancient Greek myth. Check out the legend of Narcissus. Narcissus. Narcissus was a hunter. Son of the river god Cephissus and the nymph Calliope, he was known for his extraordinary beauty. His beauty, though, made him arrogant, proud, and even disdainful of anyone who dared to love him. When Narcissus was very young, his mother was visited by the blind seer Tiresias, who prophesied that Narcissus would have a long and wonderful life, but only as long as he never recognised himself. Now, as an adult, while hunting in the woods one day, Echo the nymph noticed Narcissus and immediately fell in love with him. She made herself known to him, but just like many others, he was cold and dismissive, and Echo was left heartbroken. Now Nemesis, the goddess of retribution and revenge, saw what had happened and decided to punish Narcissus. She led him to a lake, and it was there that Narcissus saw his own reflection and consequently instantly fell in love. Unable to move from his reflection, he eventually fell in the water and drowned, thus materializing the seer's prophecy. A flower then sprang up on the spot where he died, called the Narcissus, which, similar to a daffodil, to this day grows at the banks of rivers and lakes.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Helen's Cuisine. Today I've got a sweet treat for you. You're going to love this. Really, really simple. It's a butter pull apart. Simply you need a full packet of filo pastry. You're going to need about 1/2 cup of caster sugar, 1/4 cup of pistachio nuts crushed up, blueberries. You'll need 375 mils of milk. I've got that infusing with some orange zest, 3 eggs. We've got some butter, about 150 grams of unsalted butter, golden syrup, just to zhuzh it at the end for you, so it's about 1 tablespoon, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. So off we go. So to start with, I've got my filo pastry here. Now if you've got it sitting out, there's always the tip to put a nice damp towel over it to keep it moist. But because I'm acting so quickly today, no need for that damp towel. I've got a round dish here because we want to make it rosette style, but you can use a square baking dish, use whatever you like. I've got our melted butter and simply a brush, and off we go. Layer each of your filo pastry with butter, and you're going to need about 2 filo pastry sheets per rosette. So 1 filo pastry, smother it with butter, the next filo pastry over the top. It's already buttered, and I'm simply just going to roll it nice and wide. You don't want it too thin because you want it looking like a rosette. So the wider the better. And then simply get a knife and cut it probably about 3 fingers wide. And then you simply just open it up because you want that rose effect, and squish it nice and gently against each filo pastry. So now that I've got a complete little nice little rosette all squished up in there, like I said, be gentle with it, but you can be a bit rustic with it as well. So I'm just going to finish it with a little bit more butter on the top. We're going to pop it in an oven for about 20 minutes on 180. So while your pastry is cooking, 180 degrees, it's going to take about 20 minutes. Keep an eye on it so that it doesn't burn. You just want it lightly brown because it will go back in the oven for another 20 minutes once we've made our egg custard. So to start with, you're going to need a saucepan. We need 375 mils of milk. I've had my orange rind infusing in that for about half an hour. Literally peel 3 orange rinds and pop it in the milk. Let it infuse in there, cold, in the fridge for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to cook it in a saucepan for about 10 minutes. So our milk has simmered for about 5 minutes, and then we've had it off the heat for another 10 minutes. It's cooling down, so it's a good idea to get your egg custard ready. All you'll need is your 3 eggs and your caster sugar and half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and just whisk it briskly. So our milk's cooled down. Just discard the orange rind now, and then slowly whisk in your caster sugar to your milk. We're going to remove the pastry now, pour this over the top, and pop it in the oven for another 20 minutes or so. So our butter pull apart is ready. It's fresh out of the oven. There is nothing better than eating it warm, but you can also have it cold. It's all the egg custard has just all gelled together. Let it cool down a little bit. We're going to take it out of its dish, or you can leave it in its dish. I'm simply going to sprinkle a few little pistachios over it and drizzle some golden syrup and a few blueberries just to pop it.
Whether it's Melbourne, Darwin, Queensland, something exotic, or just perfect Greece, call Mega Travel 9824 2427.
Here at Irene, we provide the highest standard in home care available. With a diverse, multicultural and bilingual team that excel in patient care, we communicate effectively with our clients and families to give added confidence. Offering care for both the elderly and persons with special needs at home is part of our enablement approach. Our professional support workers assist clients in an active way to regain independence, promote individual capacity building, and include restorative care to help our clients achieve their own goals from the service provided. Visit eremia.com.au.
aussieskips.com.au. Fast, reliable, professional and friendly service. Bin sizes from 2 cubes to 12 delivered to your door the very next day, so you can get your jobs done when you want. And with our own waste transfer station in Sydney's metropolitan Strathfield, we'll find a boutique solution for your waste management needs, no matter how small or large. aussieskips.com.au. Owned and loved by an Aussie family.
Grease 2017 CD is out now. DJ Crazy Con unleashes Volume 19 in his world-famous Grease Mix CD series. It features the biggest artists including Talikis, Kufos, Karas, Salty, Stan, plus many more. The new CD showcases 20 hot tracks in a trademark mix by Australia's super Greek DJ producer Crazy Con. Grease 2017 out now at all good music stores, iTunes worldwide, or online at crazymusic.com.au.
From Pyrrhus to Cyprus, forgotten and remembered Hellenic kingdoms, territories and a fiefdom, is the second book from Meraki TV's own Billy Kotsis. Bringing an overview of 36 territories after the disintegration of Alexander the Great's empire, it also scans the conquests of Alexander, the Byzantine Empire, and more. Each of the chapters cleverly connected by Thucydides, who is, after all, the reason why history is written the way it is today. Available from Amazon, selected outlets across Australia, and via billykotsis@hotmail.com. Theo and Irene are Greek-Aussie musos from Sydney whose creative juices have recently kicked into overdrive. They've just released a brand new single called Vresto Paradisosu, and our brand new reporter Jo Poulos, please welcome her, excitedly sat down with them to find out more.
So Irene and Theo, you guys are actually from a band,
Yeah, we're from the Paradise Band. That's where we normally work together for our live shows.
and you've also released a song of your own. You two, I believe, have...
We've just completed filming, right, just after Easter.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've been working together for quite a while, and Irene came up with lyrics and a lyrical melody, and she just sings it into her phone, sends it over to me, and then I'll listen to it for forever and come up with some music around it. And we recorded that, and we thought it'd be nice to have a visual to go with the song. So that's where the video came from, and luckily Chris has all the gear and the know-how, so he made it easy for us.
And how did you come up with the melody to the lyrics?
Melodies come to my head on a daily basis. Sometimes if I think they're worth, packing into a song, if I've either got the lyrics already, or if a lyric comes to mind, I'll just speak it into my phone or write it down, or sometimes they both come at the same time, so a lyric with a melody, and I just sing them straight into my phone, and then I send an email to Theo and say, hey, listen to this, what do you think?
It has a bit of a Latin feel to it, this song. It's quite boppy. It would certainly get me up on the dance floor.
Oh, that's a good thing. I think when I heard the vocal melody, I imagined the guitar parts, and I just liked that sort of Spanish sort of feel to it. I thought it had a nice rhythm and a nice flow, and that's where that came from. And I'll try it with loads of different instruments, and then I'll pick the one that I think sounds the best and all fits together, which was the acoustic guitar in this case.
If it were up to me, you'd have a lot of traditional instruments which are not readily available in Sydney, so, like a kanonaki or nuti or whatever.
The purpose of it is, like any song, any live performance, is to take you on a little journey. So while you're there watching a show or watching a video, you kind of forget about everything else. Problems of life go away. Yeah, and if we continue to do these things and people like it, we will probably look towards doing an album of original material.
We've already got 3 in the making. Well, this one is completed and one is very close to completion. We just need to film the video clip for the next one. And there's a ballad in the works.
There is.
And they're working on one with Stephen, of course, our other Paradise Band member. So yeah, just to keep doing it. It's very expressive, I think, for both of us.
I think we do it because we enjoy it.
How did you guys get into Greek music?
How did I get into Greek music? Well, I think like every second generation Greek, if your parents listen to it, you get into it, even subconsciously. You know lyrics, you know melody lines. So I think you're imprinted with the mark of Greek music at some point. I only chose to pursue Greek music after the age of 19, after I had gone to Greece on my own.
Do you like the older Greek style music or the more modern?
I like both. I like the older stuff because it's actually more intricate, and a lot of the modern stuff now, we've kind of lost the bouzouki a little bit. We've become a little bit westernized, I think. But the older stuff is just so, a lot of it, especially the early stuff, so raw and just probably recorded around one microphone. But they managed to capture the feel of the song and the era that it was performed, and that's very nice.
It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Joanne.
Meraki TV.
Vidya, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We are brought to you by George Fokas of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely. A big thank you to George for joining us tonight also, and of course Irene and Theo. We'd love you to keep joining us during the week on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. Tonight I'm leaving you with some more of Theo and Irene's song Vresto Paradisosu. Until next week, Vidya, φιλάκια from me, Anna Savo.
Κράτα και την άρνησή σου για αυτούς που δεν αξίζουν χρόνο και ενέργεια για αυτούς μη σπαταλάς. Βρες το παράδεισο σου μέσα από τον ιστό του κόσμου. Μην ξεχνάς τον εαυτό σου στο ρηχτό του στα νερά. Πάντα είχες την ευθύνη, τώρα ο κόσμος τι θα γίνει. Ξένα χέρια αν πάρουνε το μέλλον σου ξανά.
Meraki TV is proudly brought to you by George Fokas of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely.